Hi there, thanks for watching our quick demo of the earnings tab. The goal of the video is to give you an understanding of how you can use this data in your trading. We'll also make sure to cover the different data points that are on this tab so that you get a really good understanding of them. The main goal of the earnings tab is to show you how a stock has historically performed leading up to and following its earnings releases. This information, along with other research, can help you make buy and sell decisions for stocks that are nearing their earnings releases. As an example, when looking at Jumia's earnings tab, on the post-earnings performance here, we can see that historically, the only 7 times it has reported earnings, 86% of the time, the stock has dropped in the week following the release, and on average, it has lost 13.3% during the post-earnings week. If I was looking to trade Jumia, this data, along with other research I may have done, might help me decide to short Jumia or buy puts prior to its earnings release. Or in another scenario, if I was thinking of investing in Jumia close to its earnings, this data might help me decide to hold off and buy Jumia at least a week after its earnings, since if it drops like it's tended to in the past, it might provide me with a better entry price. For another use case, we'll go into Apple's earnings tab. If I was thinking of buying Apple because I thought it was going to beat earnings, in that case, prior to buying Apple, I'd want to see if beating earnings estimates has actually resulted in the price of Apple moving up in the past. So I'd look at the table here and look for prior beats. So in this case, I'd want to see that EPS actual was better than expected. I see here that in the last 5 times that Apple beat earnings, 2 times it moved up decently well in the week after, but another 2 times it dropped quite a bit the week after beating earnings, and the other week it barely moved up following the beat. So now, even if my research has led me to think that they will beat earnings again, I feel more hesitant buying Apple shares or call options since I know that the price hasn't always moved positively in the past, even when Apple beats earnings. Now let's quickly go over the graph and data points. So first off, you can filter to see only data for specific calendar quarters. So for example, if I click Q1 here, the graphs below and the table to the right will only show me data for all of Apple's past earnings releases that were released between January and March, aka Q1. I can filter for any of the quarters or simply keep it at all to see data related to any quarter. The top graph shows us how Apple has performed the day after its earnings release for the quarter you've selected. For this example, we're using all quarters. So this graph tells you that 25 times Apple has had a green day, or in other words, higher price than the price it was trading at before it released its earnings, and the other 23 times it had a red day. The bars show you the amount of times it performed within the range of the 2 numbers on either side of the bars. So for example, for this bar, it means there was 10 times it moved between 5 and 10% the day following earnings. At the bottom here, you can also see the worst performance, or the min, the average performance, and the best performance, or the max. The graph here shows you the exact same data, but instead of it being how it performed the day after earnings, it shows you how it performed a week after earnings. A week is considered to be 5 trading days and not a calendar week. Then on the right here, in the table, it shows you the data from the graphs more granularly, showing you each specific earnings release that's included in the analysis based on the calendar quarter filter that was clicked. It shows you how the stock performed a day and a week after each earnings, as well as how it performed a day and a week prior to the earnings. As well as showing you the data from the graphs, it also shows you whether the company did better, worse, or the same as analyst expectations. And it actually shows you the actual EPS that it reported versus what analysts expected it to report for that release. Lastly, the same graphs that were shown here for post-earnings performance can be viewed for the pre-earnings performance for the day and the week leading up to the past earnings releases. You simply click here to view it. Thank you for watching our demo of the earnings tab. If you have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to contact us via our live chat or the Contact Us page.